Have you ever looked at animals, insects, the sky, trees, and had a little bit of wonder in your heart, questions in your heart on how the sky looked like the way it looks, how trees are able to grow as big as they do, how ant hills are formed? Have you ever just wondered how birds fly, how they soar? If you have, then you're on the path to unlocking nature's greatest treasure. You see, one thing about nature, one thing about the earth is that it has had millions of years to fine tune things with such efficiency that there is almost zero waste. The earth does not believe in wasting anything. When there's a dead piece of leaf that falls or an animal that falls to the ground, it is decomposed by decomposers and it becomes life for other things. When you look at the oceans and the trees, they release oxygen and they take your carbon dioxide. When you look at the water bodies, they evaporated, they become clouds, it falls down as rain, and it's not just that. It's not just that things get wet. They transport critical chemicals that are necessary for the prosperity of this earth. You see, if you pay attention to the biology, the chemistry of the earth, the relationship between the entities of nature, and you take those same principles and apply them to your business, apply them to your work, your personal project, or even your workflow as an employee, you'd unlock the highest level of efficiency that no lab, no institution, no country has had the resources to fund yet, has had the resources to fund the research for yet. And that's what we're going to be diving into today. Some scientists call it biomimicry, right? The art of studying nature and then implementing the same principles that allows animals and plants to do miraculous things in a very normal way. Some people, economics, ecologists, have even coined the school of thought, which is a framework that several businesses and even countries have been able to push circular economy. But you see, most times when people hear about circular economy, they think about recycling alone. They just think, oh, we're recycling single-use plastics, or we're just trying to reuse something that is old. They think about it in a way that does not unlock what it should unlock in their hearts. Circular economy is not a new thing. It's not something new that, it might be something new maybe in the last couple of decades that has been talked about, but it is as old as the earth. The earth runs a circular economy where there is almost zero waste, where the value of a thing is not just single use, it's not just linear, it is continuous, where what dies gives life to what gives life to what dies, and the cycle continues, right? So we have renewables. We even have things that seem to have a short-term use, right? In terms of metal and certain mineral resources, but those resources have more interesting components like carbon that have a way of, like a matter cycle, right? It just keeps moving. It just keeps moving. The matter cycle just keeps moving. And so I'll give you an example of a man who took advantage of this. And there are several case studies, several examples. His name is Eiji Nakatsu. Now, Eiji Nakatsu was the chief engineer over the fastest train yet, the bullet train, the Japanese bullet train. But they had one small challenge. Every time that train went through the mouth of the tunnel, it released such a bang that it was deafening. People a quarter mile away complained. That's how bad it was. And they tried everything. They exhausted everything on paper, from their frameworks, the physics, the mathematics, and etc. But you see, one thing about this engineer is that he was a bird watcher. He loved to watch birds. And so one day, while paying attention to the kingfisher, he noticed that the kingfisher had an interesting beak. And with that beak, it could move from thin air into a water body with almost no splash, almost no sound. And let me tell you what he did. You guess right? You know what he did. He took that same principle, that same design, no adjustments, and he put it on the bullet train. Not only did the sound stop, but it became 10 times faster using 15% less electricity. And you see, that example is one of many examples. Many of the technologies that you enjoy today is possible because of nature, our study of nature. So we need to go further than just studying nature to solve immediate problems, to study nature to expand the value chain, to expand the wealth that we can tap into. And when we do this, when we pursue the path of circular economy, that's the challenge I want to give you. For whatever you are doing, explore what circular economy would mean in that context. Explore what a circle of value would mean in that context, where there is almost no waste, but a transfer of energy, a transfer of matter. And if you do that, you're going to stand out. You're going to stand out. It's not going to be just a sustainability thing or a climate tech thing, even though we're going to have that. We're going to have things being stewarded better. but you're going to unlock efficiency, so much efficiency. This is how nature has survived for millions of years, being able to run itself literally, efficiently, leveraging its diversity, leveraging cooperation across entities that do not communicate with each other. The decomposers, the group of entities that help decompose whatever falls to the ground, do not communicate with. Who would need that thing? But you see, if not for them, the soil would not be able to really use the nutrients, the resources that it needs. And it's just the beauty of nature. So I want to challenge you today. It's good to have a fantastic business model, financial strategy, latest technology integration, artificial intelligence, whatever it is that is trendy. But one of the things I also want you to do is to create a culture of studying nature. The next time you are in a nature-fused environment, do not just enjoy the fresh air. Pay attention to bugs, pay attention to insects, pay attention to the birds, and ask yourself a question. Is there anything I'm seeing that would make my business, my work, my life easier? And ask yourself another question. Is there any problem I have? Now, this will lead you to doing research. Is there any problem I have personally in my workflow, or any bottleneck that nature has solved probably 10,000 years ago? You ask yourself that question and you're going to find answers that would wow you. And who knows, we might be talking about your latest invention soon. Thank you.